Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm the founder and CEO of Sports Spartan, Ahmed here. As you all know, हम अब vlogs कर रहे हैं. आज हम legs train करने जाएंगे मसल अकेडमी जिम इन फेज 7 बैरियर टाउन. लास्ट वीक भी हमने एक vlog किया था, वो अपलोड होने वाला है यूट्यूब पे. अब हम लास्ट वीक हमने बैक ट्रेन की थी, आज हम लेग्स ट्रेन करने लगे हैं. वी आर एट आवर वेयर हाउस स्पोर्ट्स स्पार्टन का. आप देख सकते हैं हमें बस हर तरह के सप्लीमेंट्स हैं. मैं इसमें से साइकोटिक रेडी करके बैठा हूँ. ये मैं रस्ते में पीता हुआ जाऊँगा ताकि एक इंटेंस किस्म का लेग सेशन कर पाऊँ. Guys, this is my pre-workout meal. As you can see, grilled chicken है, थोड़ा सा boiled minced chicken है और साथ white rice है. ये मैं लूँगा प्री-वर्कआउट ताकि सस्टेन किस्म की एनर्जी मुझे मिले और मैं लेग्स लगा पाऊँ. वरना आपको पता है लेग्स सबसे ज़्यादा डिमांडिंग मसल है. खाए बगैर जाओ और वर्कआउट करो तो यू कैन नॉट ट्रेन वेल. So this is what I'm going to have. See you guys in a bit. Guys, psychotic grape flavor. It's one of the best and strongest pre-workouts available. हमारे स्टोर पे अवेलेबल है. आपको पता है www.sportspartan.com. आप वहाँ पे ऑर्डर कर सकते हैं. 20 to 30 मिनट्स पहले पिए इसको अपने वर्कआउट से एंड यू विल डेफिनेटली फील अ डिफरेंस. आपका वर्कआउट बहुत 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 ज़्यादा एनहांस हो जाएगा. आपको पता चलेगा कितने ज़्यादा आप रेप्स सेट्स कर पाते हैं ज़्यादा वेट के ऊपर. अभी आप देखेंगे मैं लेग्स करूँगा, वन ऑफ द मोस्ट डिमांडिंग मसल्स. उसके लिए तो ज़रूरी है, उसके बगैर तो मैं कर नहीं सकता. हम जा रहे हैं मसल अकेडमी जिम विच इज़ इन फेज 7 बैरियर टाउन. इट इज़ हैंड्स डाउन वन ऑफ द बेस्ट जिम्स इन द ट्विन सिटीज़. आप जो भी लोग रह रहे हैं रावलपिंडी इस्लामाबाद में, डू गिव इट अ ट्राई करके देखें इसको. इसका इक्विपमेंट बहुत अच्छा है. इट्स वेरी वेल इक्विप्ड एंड 2 फ्लोर्स के ऊपर है. एक कार्डियो सेक्शन है एंड द वेट सेक्शन इज़ कम्प्लीटली सेपरेट, जिसकी वजह से बहुत कन्वीनियंट है ट्रेन करना वहाँ पर. अभी हम जाएंगे एंड विल डेफिनेटली शो यू कि कितना ज़बरदस्त जिम बना हुआ है. पहुँच गए हैं फेज 7 बैरियर टाउन, जहाँ पे मसल अकेडमी लोकेटेड है. वी गोना ट्रेन लेग्स टुडे. अभी हम ऊपर जाने लगे हैं. So see you guys upstairs. So we are back. जिम में आ गए मसल अकेडमी. We are in the weight training section now. हम लेग वर्कआउट स्टार्ट करने लगे हैं. उधर है फादी, he is training someone. हम उनके साथ लेग्स ट्रेन करेंगे. सबसे पहले एक स्क्वाट.
And as the sets progress, I try to get the bar tighter on my back. So we'll start a little bit wide over here. Get the bar. See, that's really tight for me at the moment. I'm just going to do 8 reps. So he'll be doing the same workout. So just 8 reps. So that again, just going back to the footwear, you want flat shoes like this, or these are your classic rider-wear bodybuilding type trainers. Doctor's probably not got the best footwear for today, but we let him off. They'll face towards your toes. If they go further in, they'll go forward. So if you want to train more quads, you push them this way. If you want to do more hamstrings, you go out a little bit. But that gets a little bit too technical. The best thing to do at the minute as a beginner is just roll where you're comfortable. So just grab the bar, step out, take 1 or 2 steps out, and that's about natural. That's where your bar and your foot placement should be to start with. Later on, when you get advanced a little bit, you can play about with your foot placements. So as you watch his knees, they should go over where his toes are. And if anyone's knees are buckling in, then there's clearly an imbalance there, and you're asking for an injury. So you need to figure that out, work out what that problem is, and if that is the case, then we can do leg press as well. You don't have to do squats. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Third set, 80 kg.
Is your third set?
Yeah.
You're counting sets like that?
Yeah. Warm up, you know.
Warm-up sets? You don't count warm-up sets?
Second set, 80 kg. Generally, I do 10 to 12 reps. 12 reps करता हूँ मैंने, लेकिन आज फादी भाई के साथ ट्रेन कर रहा हूँ, कम reps and weight हम ज़्यादा तेज़ से बढ़ा रहे हैं, ज़्यादा तेज़ करके बढ़ा रहे हैं. वरना generally 5 kg का increment करता हूँ मैं, and I do 12 reps in each set, no matter what the weight is. लेकिन अभी हम 8 reps कर रहे हैं.
That's because he's going too light.
Yeah.
That's why he's going to be 12 reps.
No,
I can't do 12 reps.
This is coming from a powerlifter. I'm a bodybuilder and a physique competitor. I'm much lighter, much smaller, so it makes sense for me, not for him.
Okay, so this still is my warm-up set. I'm not going to count these, so I'll just be going for 8. There's no point burning out. There's no point me doing 20 reps.
Maximum.
On my back. So trying to reserve that energy a little bit. If this is starting to get too heavy, then we can start calling it the first working set. But for now, for me, this is still quite light.
Mine is small size.
See how much of a small waist is. Yeah, it's small. This fits you?
Yeah, it fits me with the hoodie. With the hoodie on. Doesn't
Got it on. Got it on, bro. What notch do you want?
I think the third one.
Prove it.
Prove it? Here you go, guys. More proper good physique.
Okay, I believe you can go forward. You can go forward. I believe you.
So good diet.
He's got small joints.
Why do you have an excuse for everything?
No, I'm just telling you, bro. It's a small belly. A small belly. So you want to put on 10, 20? This one.
We did.
We did 60. Sorry, we did 80.
80, yeah.
So you want to put on 100?
Okay. Yeah.
No, whatever you want to do.
100.
You sure?
Yeah.
So just put it on top of this. Let's put 20 and a 10. So this is what I would call his class as his first working set. You do 8 reps on this?
Yeah.
8 reps.
Come on.
Okay.
80 kg is not a working set, it's a warm-up set, is it?
That was a warm-up set. This is your first set.
Come on.
How many sets you can do after this then?
Sorry?
How many weights sets you can do after this?
Let's see.
Yeah, so they're not warm-up, they need to warm up. If you did over 10 reps, it's a warm-up. This is first working set.
So 100 kg is my first.
That's it. First working set. Leave it there, just hold it there. Hold there, bring the camera a little bit closer. See, he's built everything here, so all this is tight now. Widen your arms a little bit, widen your arms, all this relaxes. So it's not as tight. So if he was to go down in the squat, he's got more chance of falling over. When he brings his arms in, all this tightens up, everything tightens. So that's what you need right now. So you're want to do a set of 8 on the same way as you did last time. 100. Or 15.
Okay.
You play too smart. You play too
Safe.
Yeah, you downplay. No. Safe is good. It's good to be safe. But I think it's because you're very lean as well and you don't want to get into this. It's good to be good.
Because mostly I don't have a spotter as well.
That's true, yeah, that's true. But I think your technique is good enough. So if you're going to do a weight, it's not like you're doing singles and doubles. So if I was to put a heavy weight on, your rep ranges are so high that even if you went higher and you just did sets of 5s or triples, you're always confident enough. Say you went for a set of 3, for example, and you did a triple, but you thought after rep number 2, this is heavy. It's okay to re-rack it. It's okay to re-rack it. Don't ever go. This isn't like most exercises.
Especially when you don't have a spotter, right?
The only thing I think you should spot somebody on is a bicep curl. That's it. I don't use a spot for anything. Ever.
Makes sense. It's better that way.
I think so.
Otherwise, you start relying on the spotter more. And
you're not doing the weight. It's just you haven't got that confidence.
Yeah.
To imagine if I stayed behind you like that all the way through the set, you put 4 or 5 plates on.
Exactly.
When you came on your own, you won't have that confidence.
Exactly. You're right.
It's not something good to do.
So I'll do 110 now.
What do you put on here? That's not. That's not even 100.
That's 90.
That's 90.
We'll add in another
You want to put it
10,
in. So
right?
but remember to put it at the same way.
Yeah, sure.
So orange and then green.
Okay.
Do you want to set up on the leg press?
So 110 for 8 reps.
बहुत परेशान हूँ
Swole Spartan.
And yeah, that's it. That's leg press because that's the most. I'm locked in. That's my range of motion. I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck. So they think that's my range of motion. Now I've placed my toes out a little bit. What's happened is my knees have come out. So now my knees, look where they're naturally dropping. There. So it's not about flexibility. It's about you trying to shorten the range of motion. So that range of motion is a lot more better than this one, which just stops there. So it's not a flexibility issue, it's a foot placement issue. Yeah, keep your setting. I'm not talking to you. Keep your setting. Well, that was bad.
That was totally and I was
Another point to note, knees lock down नहीं करनी है मुझे.
Yes, of
So
course.
injury के लिए
Yes, yes.
इंजरी प्रिवेंट करने के लिए.
I'll mention this point in this camera now. So, we're on our way. Yeah, one of the final points to know on the leg press is never lock out. So, that is about as much of a, can you just push that off a little bit? Yeah, that's it. That's fine. So yeah, so never lock out your knees. You can't really see through my trackies, but that's about as lock out as you need when doing leg press. You don't want to be doing that, because what the problem is not I don't have a problem with it, but certain people have a hyperextension in the knee joint and it bends back, and
Especially on heavier weights.
cause a lot of injuries doing that. So that is about as much as you're going to go.
फुल रेंज ऑफ मोशन करना है और नीज शुड बी पॉइंटिंग आउटवर्ड्स. अभी कभी भी जो है टोज जब आउटवर्ड पॉइंट कर रहे हैं उससे रेंज ऑफ मोशन आपका बढ़ जाता है, क्योंकि आपकी नीज बाहर की तरफ जाती है, वरना नीज आपके आके हैवी के अंदर लगेगी इफ योर टोज आर टू क्लोज. इसलिए आप नीज को टोज को हमेशा थोड़ा सा बाहर रखते हैं ताकि भी नीज बाहर की तरफ जाए और बकल ना करें. और सेकेंड पॉइंट टू नोट इज़ नेवर एवर लॉक योर नीज एट द टॉप. उससे इंजरी हो सकती है. टू प्रिवेंट इंजरी नेवर लॉक योर knees at the top.
Watch. Again, there's no ego over you, so you're not trying to lift heavy weights, you're going more for the squeeze. So from the side, from the side, your hips and everything, your ass needs to be down. You can leave a little bit of a gap in the pad. What you don't want to be is too far forward. That way your knees haven't got anything to brace against. So sit back into it, so your knees are against this pad, and what you want to be doing is keeping your legs straight and keeping your hips down. So you can either hold this or you can hold. Most machines will have a bar over here, and what that does is it holds you to pull into the bar, to pull into the machine like this, okay? So there we go. That's the leg extension. All the way down, fast up, and hold for a split second. Just like that. Once you get the technique right a little bit, then you can speed up the tempo a touch. Now remember, full range of motion. And what you don't want to be doing is coming out of your seat and moving with momentum. So everything's hooked in and we're squeezing.
the striations, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is for the striations.
Striations.
Yeah. So it's not something that powerlifters would even. They might do it just for a little bit of, just to build a bit of quads.
Just to isolate the quads.
Yeah. So what he's doing here is just it's a bit of an advanced technique. This it's time under tension. So he's keeping the blood and all the lactic acid into that muscle locked because he's not letting the weight fall down and he's not squeezing the top either. So, but this isn't a beginner technique, this is more of an advanced technique for someone to do, and he squats very similar to this as well. So he's more of a time and retention guy. It's not right or wrong, but I would say if you're a beginner,
Don't try this at home.
Don't do it just yet. This is just go through the range of motion, build your full range of motion, and once your ligaments and tendons are strong enough, then you can do it like Emmet is what he was doing here. So what you were doing there is just squeezing just exactly where it needs to be. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that, but for a beginner, they won't know what that is. Because you've got that mind muscle connection that, okay, I know this is squeezing. He could do it without the weight. If he had no weight on there, he'd be able to squeeze that muscle. I'm shaking the muscle, I'm getting it to contract all the fibers. So I've got the mind muscle connection. Teach that to a beginner, they won't be able to do it.
It's hard to understand for a beginner.
So a beginner will always just go through all the range of motion and eventually that will come. So just talking to this camera, is that on? So just talking about what we mentioned about the bounce. If you look, I'm just controlling the weight down, squeezing. There's no bouncing this way here now because I've controlled the muscle a little bit, contracting it, I know exactly what I'm doing with it. Whereas most beginners, what they'll do is they'll try and get it up, and then they get that bounce. They move it up, and they get that. So it's just squeeze, down, squeeze, down. And even on the down, you're not just dropping the weight, you're not just, squeeze, you're lowering it. So that's the technique. This is a bit advanced. But it's good to see, So I'm gonna do one more set of that. Sure. You wanna go heavy on it?
Yeah,
One plate?
one more.
Yeah, would you want to put one of those on?
No.